Israel is persecuting our people, committing war crimes and crimes against humanity.
Palestinian Foreign Minister Riyad al-Maliki had accused Israel of committing war crimes in its recent offensive and called for international pressure at a United Nations Security Council session. The minister also renewed the claim that the Jewish state is pursuing a policy of apartheid against the Palestinians. Since violence started, at least 192 Palestinians have been killed in the Gaza Strip, including 58 children, while more than 1,200 others have been wounded.
Israel is persecuting our people, committing war crimes and crimes against humanity. Some may not want to use these words, war crimes and crimes against humanity, but they know they are true.
In the occupied West Bank, Israeli forces have killed at least 13 Palestinians. On its part, Gilad Erdan, Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, has condemned Hamas's rocket attacks on Israel as premeditated.
This is not the first time that Hamas has indiscriminately fired deadly missiles at Israeli civilians while hiding behind Palestinian civilians. But this time, it's different. It was completely premeditated by Hamas in order to gain political power.
Israel has reported 10 deaths, including 2 children, from the thousands of missiles fired from Gaza by Hamas and other Palestinian groups, many of which were intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome air defense system. He said the Hamas had escalated tensions due to internal Palestinian political crisis after the long-awaited elections was delayed. Meanwhile, the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has called for an immediate ceasefire, saying in his address to the Council that hostilities between the two parties were utterly appalling, while urging them to allow mediation efforts to intensify and succeed.
The fighting risks dragging Israelis and Palestinians into a spiral of violence with devastating consequences for both communities and for the entire region. It has the potential to unleash an uncontainable security and humanitarian crisis and to further foster extremism, not only in the occupied Palestinian territory and Israel, but in the region as a whole. Fighting must stop.
The United Nations Security Council had privately met twice last week over the worsening violence, but has so far been unable to agree on a public statement because the United States, a strong ally of Israel, did not believe it would be helpful. Kamal Sadiq, CBA TV.